Late last week, we had the opportunity to help introduce one of the newest faces at WBOC. Now, if you have tuned in to WBOC News this morning, the last week or so, you may have noticed her. I know I have. We've been spending our AMs chatting it up, getting to know each other. But how about if we go ahead and introduce you properly? Here's our interview with her from last week. Entering the world of broadcast journalism reveals that no two roads are the same. Sometimes people start in radio and move into the news and lifestyle shows. Folks like us know a thing or two about that kind of journey.
And a lot of times, people move all over the country, covering a wide variety of stories for different sizes of communities. And then sometimes a world-class talent lands right here at WBOC. And we are so happy to welcome to Historic Studio D. This is Tami Weber, the newest WBOC Morning news anchor. Welcome to DelmarvaLife. It's so good to have you here.
It's great to be here.
Okay, so we're talking about these journeys. Tell us about yours and broadcasts.
Oh gosh, well, I wanted to be a recording engineer. That was my goal. I loved music. I would sit in my room and I would listen to music on the radio. I used to win stuff on the radio so often I had to use other people's names. The DJs would know me, and that was in the Maryland, D.C. area.
Oh my.
But when I went to college, I went to a small school in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and I took a news writing course because I was a communications major and an English minor, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. And so I looked in the newspaper, because that's what we had back then, and I found a part-time job as a weekend morning news reporter. So I applied with my writing samples from college, and they were kind enough to give me a shot. So I did that during college, and then the competing station recruited me after I graduated, so I moved over there full-time, eventually became news director there, and then the television station in Hagerstown, Maryland, reached out about me coming over there to television, and never in a million years did I think that I would ever be in television. So I said, sure, let's give it a shot. So that's kind of how it happened.
Wow. Okay, so how did you get here?
So I had moved from Maryland down to South Carolina and worked at a station down there. I was an investigative reporter and a fill-in anchor. In Maryland, I ended up being the main anchor and reporter and producer. You know, back then you do it all.
Everything.
Yes, and photographer, everything. So I moved to South Carolina. I was there for quite some time, but then got out of the business for a while. So it's actually been 18 years since I've been in television. And I moved back to Delmarva when I met my husband. And he was in Salisbury, and my folks were in Ocean Pines, and so it was the right move. So moved back up here. Still wasn't working in television, obviously, at the time, but had reconnected with the news director here, Ron, and we had been friends and worked together back in the 90s. So it just kind of happened. We talked about it. He said, "Are you interested in trying out, seeing how it goes?" And I'm like, gosh, it's been almost 2 decades. So I said sure, and I guess it went okay, because here
you are. Well, that's wonderful. We're so glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about what you do outside of work.
Well, now I'm trying to sleep when I can. I've got, my husband, Bob, and then I have 3 kids. I have a freshman in high school, Michaela, and then I have 2 twin boys that are 12. So they keep me busy. Michaela is a competitive figure skater, and she's on the Bennett High School volleyball team. So she keeps me busy, and then my son is a competitive hockey player. So I am running, and there's no ice rink in Salisbury, so I'm on the road
all over the place.
Quite a bit.
Wow.
But when we're not doing that, my other son, so I don't leave him out because he doesn't play sports right now, he wants to be a veterinarian, so he's doing a lot of pet sitting.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really fun.
That's
fun.
Huge.
It's exhausting, but it's fun.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
So somebody said something. You're not in a band right now, are you? Are you part of a band?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. However, we wanted to revisit this picture from the past.
Oh dear.
And when you were in a band, what is this you're playing?
So I can't believe you even found this picture. I don't know how it happened, but I have a feeling my sister, who happens to also work here, is probably to blame.
We never reveal our sources.
Oh, that's
but
right.
Thank you. You're the best.
So I was in a community marching band. It was
Okay.
called the Fort Washington Continentals. I started out as a majorette, and I progressed into playing the glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel.
The glockenspiel. Yes.
Okay.
You still play it?
I actually played it for a talent show not too long ago. I was very rusty. I didn't do very well, but I did it. It was fun.
Yep, we gotta have her back.
I still have it.
Yep, we're gonna have her back. MSA stage, glockenspiel.
I like it. I like it. And I understand also you won some awards for your talent.
You mean the journalism part of it, or?
Or the glockenspiel.
Well,
Well,
the
you got
glockenspiel.
both.
You know.
I
all
mean,
of
I
the
might have
above.
won an award for when I was a majorette.
Yeah.
throwing the
Oh,
baton.
okay. Okay.
But as far as journalism, yes, I've won a couple of Emmys, a Women in Communications Award. It's called a Matrix Award.
Ooh.
I have a lot of accolades from the Associated Press in Maryland, West Virginia, and South Carolina.
That's huge.
And I was South Carolina's Reporter of the Year back in
Wow.
2005.
My
Wow.
goodness, we are thankful to have you here, that's for sure.
Now,
You've been around enough. Mm-hmm. Have you got a favorite part about Delmarva? What do you like the best about living here?
I love the outdoors.
Yeah.
Everything from the beach. I love the beach in the summertime and not in the summertime. We actually go to the boardwalk more off season than we do on season because when you live here, you know
Yeah.
better.
Now,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. Now you know she's here.
But we go to the beach a lot, but we love to camp.
Yeah.
So we used to camp around at all the state parks, everywhere from Kip to Peak to Tuckahoe and Pocomoke and everywhere along Delmarva. We have a permanent campsite now right outside of Bishopville.
Oh, wow.
So we are there quite often. We have our bonfires, whether we're at home or at the camper, we have our bonfires. I love to cook over the open fire. So I have my witch's cauldron, and at the campground, they call me Mrs. Meatloaf because of my smoked meatloaf.
oh, well, there she's going to be in the
Smoked meat.
kitchen.
We've got her on the MSH stage. We've got her in the DelmarvaLife kitchen. This is turning out well. We're liking this a lot.
So remind us again where we can see you on WBOC.
So I am with Jimmy on WBOC mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. So weekdays. Super excited. This starts my first full week, and it's awesome. I have to tell you, this is the best work family that I have ever worked with. I know it's only been a couple days, but as long as you hold up your end of the bargain, Jimmy, I think we're gonna do good things.
You may have seen her this morning, and if she ever starts laughing for no reason, it has nothing to do with me.
Never.
And again, you could come to me if you need any tips or
I
tricks.
expect a list of all of the secrets
Can
that
I-
I need to use as blackmail.
Can I explain where I am? I suddenly feel like my two work wives just got together.
I think we
Now
did.
what do I do?
I think we did, Lisa.
We have a group.
That's what not a group. There's no group.
Oh,
Moving
there's
along.
a group. There's a
Group
group.
text, All right, Tami, it's so good to have you on DelmarvaLife, and looking forward to waking up every morning and seeing you with Jimmy on WBOC News this morning.
It's so great to be here. I grew up on summers at the beach and watching WBOC, so it's kind of cool to come full circle.
Awesome.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.